Welcome to the Shiproom, where we learn from tech leaders at some of the world's most successful companies. I'm Brad Anderson. I'm the Vice President of Microsoft 365. Welcome to the Shiproom. Today I'm joined by Rachel Higham, the CIO of BT. And for those of us in the US, that's British Telecom.
Hi, Brad. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Rachel, describe for us a little bit of what is your team responsible for at this massive organization?
Well, I have the privilege of leading about 14,500 fabulous technologists who support all of the 4,500 apps that we have across BT. And those applications support our residential customers who have broadband and TV and mobile phones with us, our corporate customers, and also we have retail stores, we have field engineering. It's been an exciting journey so far and lots more to do.
When the pandemic hit and we all started working from home, what was the biggest change your company had to make, and how did the technology team step in to help?
Our biggest change was helping our 110,000 colleagues and partners to be able to collaborate and communicate effectively while working from home. We also had to make changes to products, to tariffs and billing to help our customers as they were coming under financial stress. And we had to build out a range of new solutions for the government and the National Health Service, who of course struggling to respond to COVID. And then since that React phase, we've been looking at how we support more sustained remote working practices, how we uplift our in-building technology to support hybrid working better, and how we improve adoption of all of the great features of Teams and Microsoft 365 to fundamentally change the ways of working across our company.
England has been home to some royals with unforgettable names like Ethelred the Unready and later Edward the Confessor. So I'm going to read you a few more names of royals and see if you can sort out the historical figures from the fakes. First of all, Anne, the Queen of Bees.
Fake.
Corned Beef the Wise.
Oh, fake. Has to be fake.
Eleanor the Scrompulent.
Is that a word? Fake.
Wilfred the Hairy.
Oh, I think that was a figure.
Strong Bad the Typist.
I'd say that was a fake.
Susan from accounting.
I love her, but fake.
I'm curious, as you were, kicking the tires for things like Microsoft 365, what are the attributes and what are the characteristics and capabilities that you're looking for?
I think we used to assess technology based on its functional criteria. But we didn't really think about the experience, the actual journey a user would have working through a workflow or interacting with that tool. That now has the highest weighting as we evaluate technology, which has been a real shift for us. Because we've done the work to define the personas across our organization, we understand what a lived experience is for them, we understand the different needs, and we've also captured up front the pain points and the frustration points they desperately need us to solve for. So whenever we're assessing a new solution or a new platform, we really assess it against that bank of needs.
You're on the phone here with Rachel Higham.
Hey, no big surprises calling in this episode. It's me, Yakky the Yak, the official Yak of Kayaking. I know Rachel's a fellow yakker, so I want to get her help on a presentation I'm putting together to celebrate the 100th anniversary of kayaking becoming an Olympic sport.
Happy to help, I hope.
So I need Rachel to help me sort out which of the following events were once Olympic sports and which ones are just good ideas for the future.
Sounds great, let's give it a go.
Tug of war?
I think it was.
Breakdancing?
Oh no.
Roller hockey?
No, I don't think so.
Obstacle course swimming?
Obstacle course swimming? No, I don't think so.
Flair bartending?
No.
Rope climbing?
Yeah, I think that might have been.
Axe throwing?
No, I don't think so.
Tandem bicycle sprinting?
Oh, that's one of those crazy things that probably was.
Okay, this is awesome. Now I'm just gonna tighten up these PowerPoint animations, and then I can get started on learning how to read and use computers. Oh, one last question. I saw you listed as one of the 25 technology titans unlocking the power of data in 2020. How do you really concretely foster a data-centric workplace and a data-centric culture in your organization?
That's quite a shift from questions about the Olympics, but let's give it a go. Yeah, I think building an insight-driven culture, it has to be about building a data-centric culture first. For me, you need to start by bringing together the people who are already passionate about the space to share what they're doing, and then work with them to build the inspiring vision of what could be possible if you had access to the petabytes of data that is scattered across your organization. You should think about what data or insight, if you had access to it, could add value, could drive operational efficiency, could help you serve your customers better or in a more personalized way, or even actually develop a new product or service. One of our early examples brought together weather data with broadband fault data to help us predict the impact of lightning strikes and floods on our network, and actually move our engineers to the impacted areas ahead of a storm. By doing that, we've reduced broadband incidents by 2.5%,
Wow.
which it doesn't sound like much, but that's nearly 400,000 customers that now don't experience weather-related broadband issues, which is phenomenal.
So much of the new value that we collectively as a society will bring to organizations and to users is going to be using the data that we already have to put it together in unique ways. Like, I think every customer on the planet has a scenario where you can take two different data sets, bring it together, and fundamentally shift either the employee experience or the customer experience in a significant way.
And sometimes actually it's even just creating a great new visualization over a single set of data that reveals new patterns and new insights to our cybersecurity analysts or those people who are planning our network deployments and topography.
I was reading a case study about how organizations are modernizing, and there was a statement in there which said the idea of modernizing is very exciting to people in the org, but that idea really isn't going to go anywhere without a concrete plan to execute it. Now, as someone who's made some very successful modernizations, what went into building the plan that you are implementing to modernize?
We talked a lot about how it would change the working lives of all the different personas we have across the company, how it would improve quality and productivity, how it would foster collaboration, partnerships and innovation. And yes, how it would transform our cost base, but more importantly, how it would enable us to respond faster to changing needs. But I think co-creation is the key word there. By involving your colleagues and customers in the creation of the vision, the roadmaps and the transformation plans, you really ensure you're modernizing in service of them, and you bring them with you. Our roadmaps transparently show not only what new capabilities we're building out, but what we also need from the business as enablers. And I think that shift in accountability is important too. We also set a group of hero KPIs that show quarter by quarter how we're improving. Things like the level of reuse or speed to market or level of cloud adoption and customer engagement scores. But I think the biggest secret for us was spending as much time talking about how we were changing the way we work, our culture, our leadership style, our mindset and behaviours, as we did talking about what we were going to deliver. And then finally, we took a human-centred approach and we invested in communications, in adoption and engagement expertise, so we could provide the right support and coaching to help our people embed the new habits and working practices that were critical to our modernisation.
If I were to give anybody listening to this advice, go rewind and listen to what Rachel just said. Seriously. British cuisine is known for being, British. I'm gonna read you a set of dishes here, and you're gonna help me identify, are they actual British delicacies or something from Hogwarts?
Well, the next challenge is to eat every single thing you're about to say.
First of all, bubble and squeak.
Oh, that's real food. You take last night's vegetables and sort of potato, and you kind of mash them up into a patty, and you dry fry them, and it squeaks as you do that, and it bubbles as well. So that's where the name comes from.
Chip butty.
Chip butty. Well, I'm from the north of England, and chip butties are exactly what you have. If you were interviewing someone from the south, they'd have no clue. Well, chip is a fry in English, and a butty is a sandwich. Usually with thick bread and loads of butter.
Pumpkin pasties.
You mean pasties? We don't really like pumpkin though over here, so I'm guessing that's Hogwarts.
Next, toad in the hole.
Oh, that's true, that's real food. The batter you make pancakes with, you make something called a Yorkshire pudding, which is kind of a deep pancake, I guess, with sides on it. And then you lay in sausages and you cook that in the oven, and then you fill it with gravy. It's quite evil.
Fizzing Whizbees.
Oh, that's definitely Hogwarts.
Cauldron cakes.
Hogwarts.
Last one, stargazy pie.
Oh, that's true. It's from Henry VIII's time, and they used to make pies out of blackbirds, and they would take the heads and stick them on top so the birds were looking up at the stars. It's evil.
Wow.
We don't eat that anymore.
I know one topic that you take very, very seriously is improving diversity and inclusion in the workplace. When you work with your leaders, people managers, what advice do you give them to get better at this?
For me, building diverse teams and creating safe, inclusive environments where everyone can thrive is the most important thing we do as leaders. My first piece of advice would be make this, if not your top priority, then certainly one of your top 3. Don't delegate it. Continuously ask your teams and partners where they're at. If they know it's important to you, they will strive to improve. I think secondly, be data-driven. Understand where you are, what your ambition is, and where you have gaps, and then be really challenging on whether you're doing enough to close those gaps fast enough. Once you understand the gaps, make sure you invest meaningfully to close them. And then bringing it back to you have to role model inclusive behaviors relentlessly. And finally, celebrate positive behaviors you see around you.
Your point about this is all about culture. Culture has to be, like you say, number one in everything that we do as leaders. While we've been talking, our very own Shiproom AI has been analyzing our conversation, and it's come up with the 12 most relevant questions based upon our discussion. Should answering a call from an unknown caller be considered an extreme sport?
Definitely.
5G is all the rage right now. How many Gs is too many Gs?
Oh, 6.
Is it true that BT operates in 100 countries?
More, 180 or so, yeah.
Can you name them?
All of them?
What's the first concert you ever went to?
Genesis.
How would you rank the peanut butter and jelly sandwich amongst all the great American inventions?
About the bottom. Why would you do that?
Well, thanks for hanging out in the Shiproom with us, Rachel. It's just been such a great pleasure to have you here. Now, before we go, if you want to tell people how they can find or hear more about the work you're doing at BT, where would they go?
And they could go onto LinkedIn and search for Da Vinci, which is our transformation name, or BT IT transformation.
Thanks, Rachel, and thanks for everyone for watching. I'm Brad Anderson for the Shiproom. We'll see you next time.
I wonder if I can. No, this is a terrible idea. Okay. Woof, sorry.